what the heck happened at the Iowa Caucus? Welcome everybody, this is Intuitive Edge. Welcome to my channel. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So last night, myself and I'm sure a lot of you other people were waiting up to see the results of the Iowa Caucus to see what the preference was for the Democratic nominee. And those results, we waited and they never came. And so people are like, what's going on? And the newscasters were going crazy, at least the ones I saw. So what happened with that? Now, what's interesting, I did a video the other day on the Iowa Caucus and how each candidate would do. And without anticipating that anything crazy would take place, of course, I focused on the candidates, how each one would do, what the energy around them would be like. Now, the interesting thing that maybe would have tipped me off that something really messy is going to happen was perhaps the card that came up with Bernie Sanders. There was a card, it was the star reversed, and the impression I got was somehow votes were being siphoned off. And at the time, I thought that Bernie was getting votes from people from maybe other candidates, that somehow he was getting their tallies, or that people that might have voted for other people were turning and voting for Sanders. Well, now I don't know if that's the case, given what's taken place. I'm wondering if maybe the interpretation for that might have been something of votes not being counted right, perhaps. So anyway, I'm going to look at this again. We're going to look at the whole picture and the outcome and kind of do an overview, which I didn't do in the last video. I focused in on the specific candidates. So let's take a look at that and we'll get started. Okay, the first card out is the Two of Pentacles. This is on the past. Now this is a card of choices, making choice, choosing and weighing options. That makes sense. People go to vote, choosing, weighing their options. Now that's in the past. The present, now this is an interesting card. We have a major arcana. This is the High Priest. And the key word is wisdom. This is a card of conformity and bringing sides together under one big roof. You're trying to bring a sense of unity and conformity. And I wonder if that is part of what's happening now, is trying to unify the party, perhaps, and bring a sense of togetherness, trying to. That's the energy that's happening around the DNC right now. I think there are factions that are trying to keep the party together. Now, on the immediate future, we have the Five of Pentacles, which is, the key word is abandonment. This is a card of taking risk or having to deal with risk. This is about fear, isolation, risk, rejection. Now what's interesting is I turned over the next card, which is the attitudes of the people involved. This actually made me kind of laugh when I saw it at first, because this is a major arcana of the Emperor, the Order card. And I thought, wow, the energy of the people is bring some order to this. And this stern look that he has, he's looking back right directly at that Five of Pentacles, that rejection, abandonment, abandoning the rules. I don't know, that it's kind of a chaotic kind of card. And this looking right back at it, like bringing that order. No, bring order back. Wow. The next card is the Hidden Influence, what's going on behind the scenes. And I've got the Seven of Wands. It's the card of endurance. Show it to you here. Endurance is the key word. But this card is about getting the upper hand and trying to get the upper hand on something. And I'm wondering if that trying to get the upper hand over a chaotic situation that feels very disorderly, with that Order card wanting to come in and fix everything, My question is, who is trying to get the upper hand? Is it the people who voted? Or is there something that's trying to manipulate the outcome of the Iowa caucus? And is that the energy that's trying to get the upper hand by throwing things kind of into chaos? So to round this out, I looked at the next card, and this is on the position of the obstacle. So what's the obstacle to all of this? And we get the victory card. Now, if the obstacle is victory, I'm wondering if this means that the wrong person, according to some, perhaps pulled ahead, and that victory is the obstacle that they're trying to prevent? I don't know. That doesn't really make sense because, I mean, we're moving on to New Hampshire and we're moving on to all the rest. That doesn't really make sense if someone's trying to throw one of the caucuses, because it's just going to keep going and you can't keep doing and throwing chaos into all of them. So, but I'm wondering if the ultimate victory was the obstacle. It could also mean that victory is the obstacle. There's an obstacle getting to who the winner actually was. On the outcome card, we have the world regeneration card of success, things coming back around with this picture here. That's kind of the image I got. Things coming back around, regenerating. So having that card on the outcome is actually good because you've got that card of success. So ultimately something good will come of this. It'll have some semblance of order. It's just interesting to see exactly what or who. I want to take a look real quick at the New Hampshire. That's the next one. Just to see a comparison if there will be a clear path to the winner, or if there's going to be any more funny business. So let me do that real quick. We'll be right back. Now we're going to do a 10-card Celtic Cross on the New Hampshire primary just to see what the energies are, if it's going to be different, whatever. I've got the Death card, Transformation, crossed by the Chariot. Those are two major arcanas. So, and this movement with that Chariot on top of major transformation tells me that we may see a upending of how the candidates have been previously. We may see some that have been lagging, doing really well. Some that we thought were front runners might kind of fall behind. It's going to be an upending. I think that's a powerful energy, those two cards together. Oh, third card out, it's another major arcana. This is the Moon card, the card of illusion. Show it to you. Illusion. That's what we know. So something about what we know is an illusion. It's under the veil. It's kind of hidden. What's led up to this? Boredom. That's interesting. We have the Three of Swords, heartache in the background, and that victory card. Now, we just saw this in the last spread I did. This card of victory that was the obstacle is on the future position of this reading. So I think this does indicate, hopefully, well, if I'm seeing this right, I think this indicates that there will be a clear winner, a clear path to victory in New Hampshire. I don't think we're going to see the crazy, what happened, that we got out of Iowa. Another major arcana comes out. This time I have the Strength card. This is on the will, the strength, actually the actual people. And it's interesting, this card, you see this merman tearing open that net. It just feels like there's a lot of energy of change just change, wanting to stir things up, tear things apart, burn things down, and have just radical change, just big change, and the strength to do it. We have a queen coming out on the position of what's happening around, and we've got that earth queen, Queen of Pentacles. That's a very grounded energy. All right, next. Wow, okay. Wheel of Fortune came out on the outcome. Destiny. So, and along with that victory card on the future and the Wheel of Fortune, destiny, karma card, I call it. These are things set in motion that you can't change or stop. So whatever this change represented by the death card of transformation, with that chariot blazing forward, pushing ahead, no matter what energy on top of that, there's going to be major change coming forward. I think there's a movement of people that are, that want a different Democrat Party, and that's their motivation, and I think they're strong. And I think that the destiny card on top of that Wheel of Fortune, that karma, to me that's just like these changes have to happen. And I'm not saying that's a good change. Leave good and bad out of it. This isn't a judgment call on the type of change. This is just saying this is the energy, and this energy has to happen. It's coming to like an apex, and it's got to move. You know, volcano, when it gets to that place, it has to blow. It has nowhere else to go with that energy when it gets to that point. I think we're at that point where things are just going to blow and change, okay? Change is like out the door for this party, for the Democrat Party. And I think that the establishment Democrats are trying to hang on and hold on to their power base and the way things are done and tradition, and trying to keep, and they have allowed, I should say, I don't know, but they've got the radical element within them that's found a home. And those two factions are at war, and I think the radical is winning out in the Democrat Party. That element that is driving for radical change. And I don't think that the establishment knows how to handle it. Now I could go on, I don't know how long I want to make this video. I could say a lot more about Bernie Sanders, and you know, he hasn't been a socialist, but he knows that he probably can't win an election just running as a socialist. He's needed the cover of the Democrat Party. But I think maybe I'll save that for another video and expound on that a little bit later. I think I'll wrap this up, and we'll call it good for now. So we'll see what happens. I think New Hampshire will be much more decisive than Iowa turned out to be. So we'll see who kind of pulls ahead from there. So, all right. Thank you, everyone, again for joining me. This has been Intuitive Edge. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.